All right, we will go ahead and get started. Alicia, I realize you may have to like hop, in and out for phone calls and stuff, but feel free to stop me at any point and ask any questions that you have. And just another little side note, I'm going to be logging in under Charlie's login credentials because he is licensed and I am not. So if I were on my account, there would be a few things missing that agents have that I don't have. So that's why I'm on his account. And again, at any point you have a question, just feel free to stop me. I'm never offended. This is Max Center overview, and a lot has changed in Max Center in a pretty short amount of time. They kind of started, Remax LLC kind of started updating it and improving it about 2 years ago, and it's seen a significant push now that Booj has been purchased by Remax as a company. A lot of the technology that goes into that platform has made its way into Max Center and the way that it operates. So lots of exciting changes, and we're going to go through some of my favorite apps and tools found within Max Center that make our lives a lot easier. So
there was a bunch different.
Oh,
so logging in from this time just from a year ago.
Yes. Yeah. January was a big relaunch of Max Center with the launch of Remax.com. So, and since then, they've even made a few more extra changes, which I think have all been pretty great. So, Max Center is accessed in your internet. And I will say this, it works best using Google Chrome. A lot of times when people have issues with certain functions in the different apps and tiles that are found within Max Center, it's usually because they're using a different browser like Safari or Firefox or Edge or Internet Explorer. Google Chrome is the browser of choice. I've not had any issues since switching to Google Chrome when I use any of the Remax tools and technology. So I highly recommend you use it. It's a free download. It's a very secure browser. And you'll also experience the same thing with Booj and Design Center and a few of the other apps as well. Anyway, to access Max Center, you'll get into Google Chrome and you'll go to remax.net, not remax.com, remax.net. And that's going to bring you to the screen that you see. And this is the login screen for Max Center. Everybody who's a Remax affiliate or staff or anybody associated with Remax is given their very own set of remax.net credentials. So this is Charlie's. You'll have your very own with your own password, and you'll use those credentials to log into the system here. I'm logging in right now, and your first screen that you're going to see is what we call the dashboard. So what you're going to start to notice too is that it is pretty simplified compared to how it used to be. Before, you would just see all the apps. Now you have a more tailored dashboard. And what's cool about this is that the more you interact with the different apps that are found on the screen, the more tailored the content is going to be down here. That's a new feature. They just started experimenting with it over the last probably 2 months or so. So March, April of 2020. But this is also a good place to look for announcements that are coming out from Remax LLC for any kind of conference, special event, any kind of educational offering that's going on. You'll find those announcements here. You'll also see news articles and announcements that come from LLC all across the gamut. They run technology, events, celebrations, kind of all over the board. Couple of things that I want to point out that I think are really fun, and they are phenomenal improvements to Max Center, is right here at the top, this little magnifying glass. This is a universal search bar. So if you know what it is that you're trying to find, you can type whatever that is into
I don't see your screen. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I don't see the screen. Like mine just says Zoom.
Is there a window that's minimized for you?
Let me see. Yes, there it is. I'm sorry.
Yay! No, I'm
glad you wondering. That's like
you're like, I know I'm supposed to be looking at this, but I'm not seeing it. I'm glad you found it. So yeah, right here, little magnifying glass. That is a universal search bar. So you can type anything in here, like Booj, for example. You can hit the search or hit your enter button, and it's going to pull up all the things that have Booj associated with it. So you'll see the apps at the top. You can click on this view all here. So a lot of times people are like, well, it only showed me 2 things. Well, that's because there's 43 or more, but you have to click on the blue view all. and it'll bring up everything. So pretty cool. You can also see staff and things who are associated with whatever it is that you're searching for, which I think is a really nice feature. Now, up here, kind of below that universal search bar, you'll also see these apps. In MaxCenter, these, I call them tiles, they call them apps. I'll interchange those two terms, but I'm talking about these little things right here. They're called apps in MaxCenter, and you have the ability to customize which ones you want to see right here when you log into your dashboard. So you can click on View All right next to Top Apps, or you can click on Apps in the left-hand menu here. They'll both get you to the same spot where you can see all of the apps that exist within MaxCenter. So here they are. They're still loading, but one thing that I want to point out is when you click on these, almost all of them, I would say 98% of them are going to open in a new window. That's intentional. It's so that you don't lose your dashboard. You still have that open in its own window. So don't be alarmed or think that it's a pop-up or that that's not supposed to happen. It is supposed to happen. Now, you can customize the apps at the top depending on which ones you interact with the most. By clicking on this little blue ribbon or bookmark, you can click that on or off to indicate that it's a favorite app that you have or that you use frequently, and that's what's going to show up here on that little toolbar for your favorite apps. You can change those at any point. Remax has put these two in there by default. Even if you try to turn them off, they'll still be here. That's because these are the first or the most recent tools that Remax has rolled out in order to help its affiliates build their business. First is awesome. It is a mobile app that you download onto your phone. And what it does is that it does a complete analysis of all the contacts that you have in your phone. And it tells you which people, based on their online activity, are most likely to want to list their home. It's really great because the consumer has no idea that this is happening. And when I first heard about it, I'll admit I felt a little hesitant because I thought, man, that's kind of creepy, but our privacy online is gone. Anytime you go to a website and it says, have you ever seen a little thing where it's like, our website uses cookies to do this and that? That's what it's doing. It's storing information based on the things that you look at, which is why, like when you go to Amazon or when you go to Facebook, the things that you searched for before show up there because it kind of creates a little breadcrumb trail. This works the same way. First, studies like 700 or more points of data on each person that you have as a contact in your phone. And it says, okay, this person has a 3-star rating, which means they are extremely likely to list their home. You should reach out to them. Or they have 2 stars, they have 1 star. So it helps you stay on top of the database that you have within your phone. And it just kind of tips you off so that you're at the right place at the right time in order to connect with whoever's in your phone database. It's awesome. And again, hey, Kathy, the consumer has no idea. It just makes you look like a genius that has impeccable timing when they need your services the most. Pretty cool. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. Megaphone, it kind of works the same as the Facebook ad manager. If you guys have done any work like that before, you go in and you'll tell it, what do you want to accomplish? If you want to find buyers, if you want to find sellers, if you want to recruit people to join your real estate team, it'll say, great, this is what we recommend. What budget do you want to set? And then they just blast it to all these different websites all over the internet. And then you can track and see how those ads are performing. Pretty cool. And then of course, Boosh. This is a completely different one, but I think this is mostly for brokers. The Boosh that we're talking about is the red one. Oops, sorry about that. Is the red one here, and we're going to go into that too. But before we hop into the apps, a few things that I want to bring to y'all's attention that I think are important. Over here on the left-hand side of the screen, this is sort of the dashboard menu, if you will. We talked about apps. That'll show you all of the apps that are within MaxCenter. News and resources. This is a new feature. So if you click on that, you can click on either of these two things here, Remax News and Resources, Boosh Highlights, Tools, and Tips. They'll bring you to sort of a little collection of anything that's been posted recently by Remax LLC or any new software updates that have come out for Boosh if you click on that one. Really cool. Lots of really, really good content. So if you guys are responsible, which I think both of you will be or are already responsible for our social media presence, RE/MAX News and Resources is a phenomenal hub of shareable content that you can just click and share onto our RE/MAX channels, our RE/MAX One channels. So it requires very little work on our part to go and find content that we feel like is good and shareable for our channels. Really great. So I'll show that to you. You can go to News and Resources and you can see a whole bunch of the stuff that's been posted. But more importantly, I'm going to open another tab and show you guys this. News.remax.com. This is kind of the more dynamic, the more interactive content that is still really, really good, valuable, shareable content that all we have to do is click share, and then it's going to go out on our channels that we choose it for it to go onto. So you can see this looks very different. A lot of this content is going to be curated based on our location. So it knows that we are in the Texas region. So you'll see a lot of Texas agent celebrations. You'll see a lot of other goodies as well. Down here at the bottom, you'll see that cookies notification again. That's okay. And then you can scroll down and see all of the articles. Like, for example, this is a good shareable to put out there. There are articles, there are images, videos, logos that you can share and utilize as you see fit. And then, of course, you can find all of the other articles that have been posted here as well. So I would recommend that you guys bookmark this in your own browser because, again, I go here all the time. It's one of my favorite sources to, one, stay on top of what it is that the company is doing, but also so that if somebody asks me a question about something, I'm not like, huh? What do you mean? I don't know about that. That's like the worst feeling ever. I like to be prepared, and this is a good place to be prepared and stay prepared. Any questions on that so far? Okay. Now, favorites, again, this is just going to be those apps that you bookmark on and off. So if you didn't want to go and see like home, if you just wanted a quick look at these apps, you can access them there. I think that might be a tad redundant just because they're at the top of your dashboard. But if for some reason you had more than what was shown on that little strip, this is where they would show up as well. If you were looking for a referral, a RE/MAX referral, you can search by location to see the RE/MAX affiliates and associates that are within that area. For example, I see this all the time in our super secret Facebook group. Hey, I need an agent in Grapevine, Texas. I don't know anyone. You guys could come here, type in Grapevine, Texas, and then it's going to pull up all the agents who are affiliated in that area so that you can just say, okay, here you go. And then, of course, get that referral fee as well. Now, okay, so there you go. It just pulled everybody up. Pretty great. Tools. Let's talk about tools. This is one of my very favorite tools ever. It's the RE/MAX URL shortener. You guys know that sometimes you can be a little hesitant to click on links that are like 4 paragraphs long when you're sharing something in an email and you're thinking, is that a virus? Should I click on it? Should I not click on it? This solves that. So what you can do is you can copy any link from anything, anywhere, a big long link, and make it super tiny and very, very non-threatening. But the best part is that you can, they're branded. So all of them start with this rem.ax. So there you go. You get that little check mark. But you can also customize the tail. So for example, these are all of Charlie's links, but if he wanted to, like here's one for an address, right? So 560 24th, he could customize the tail of this URL to say rem.ax/560 24th Street. So you can customize these links and to your liking, which is the coolest thing ever, because they make them a teeny tiny little thing, and the person who's receiving that link will know instantly where it's going to take them. So there's no fear of, uh-oh, if I click on this, am I going to get a virus, right? So the way that you would do that is by clicking on those 3 little dots right here, and that'll allow you to edit that link. So right here, this little tail, you could say housing market, and then hit save. And so there you go, rem.ax/housing market. If you wanted to create a new link, that big blue button right here that says create link is where you would go. The link name, look, Alicia, there's when we were working on your IABS. The link name, this is just for you to know what the link is. This doesn't show up anywhere. This is just how it's going to show up in this little section so that you can go back and find it later. And then you would just paste the long URL here, and then it spits out the short one that you can then customize even further by clicking on those 3 dots. Now, the cool thing is that you can click on these at any point and they'll take you right where you want to go. And then also what used to be here, and I don't see it right now. There you go. Okay, so they just changed the way this looks. If you click on that little arrow, that little down arrow, it'll tell you how many times the link was clicked, which is pretty cool because if you said, yeah, I sent it to you, and they're like, oh, I didn't see it, but you go on here and you know that you only sent the link to one person and it shows that it was clicked, you know that they did get it, you know that they did click on it. And it'll also tell you when it was clicked, how many times it was clicked, where those clicks came from, so on and so forth. So it's pretty cool. It gives you the analytics on that too. I use this all the time, especially for like sharing videos, like those shareable links that you get in Google Drive that are literally like this long. Nobody wants to click on that. So what I'll do is I'll throw that in here, spit out a link, and I'll change this to, like, for example, today's class, instead of housing market right there, I would say Max Center overview. So that if I sent this to a new agent, they could click on it, they know it's Max Center, and then there you go. They'd be able to watch the video instead of that big, ugly, long Google Drive link that nobody wants to click on. So my favorite tool probably in Max Center is the URL shortener. You can even use this for like your social media rather than having like the Facebook link. Drop that in here and have it rem.ax, Alicia on Facebook, Kathy on Facebook, or whatever, and put that in your email signature too. Any chance that you have to have a branded link, use it. It's a free tool. Okay, any questions on any of that? Okay, y'all are easy. Another area that I want to bring to your attention, because this will be helpful for you guys, especially with new agents who were getting set up and kind of acclimated with the technology, is the account section. So on the right-hand side, top right-hand corner, do you guys see Charlie up there, his picture? That is where you access your profile. This is the same for everybody. If they do not have a photo, that's going to be a Remax balloon. So you would just tell them, go to the top right-hand corner. It's either your photo or a Remax balloon. Click on that, and you're going to see the menu that just dropped down. You'll see referrals, settings. Some of these may not be here, like pay my bill. That may be specific to a broker account because he has to pay the franchise fees. Reservations, you probably won't see either because that's where we have to set a reserved remax.net email address for new agents. We go there, but everything else should be there. What I want to call y'all's attention to is this blue update profile in capital letters. This is so very important because everything that we put into our profile in Max Center is what gets fed to your remax.com website. So it is imperative that they go here first before they do anything else as a new agent. They get emails from us as a staff that kind of spell this out for them, and they have a video that spells this out for them, but we can't reiterate this enough. I just recently completed an audit of our remax.com websites, and the first place that I looked was our agents because I wanted to make sure that we all had photos and that we all had our correct information out there and not just balloon heads, right? There were several who did not have photos, and that's an easy fix just by logging into Max Center and uploading our photo. So important. Plus, if their profiles are not complete, then they're not eligible to receive leads from remax.com or the other remax.com sites and channels. So how do we do that? On the left-hand menu where it says profile overview, that's what we're seeing right here. You can see that there's sections that this is broken out into, and you're able to include as much information as you like. And over here, just by kind of moving your mouse over this section, you'll see that little edit pop up. you can click on that, or you can just go through each of these tabs, which is the way that I coach people to go through it. That way, you know you're not missing anything. And it's very simple just to kind of work your way down that menu on the left-hand side. So starting with general info, this is where you go in and you click edit and you type in a lot of this information. Your birthday, when were you licensed, so on and so forth. Contact information, so very important. Make sure that you have your information that is correct here, because again, you don't want to put the wrong phone number here that's going to be on your website where nobody can contact you. Super, super important. Cannot stress it enough. And then photo, again, very easy. This is where they would upload their photo, and that's what's going to show up online. Very simple, very important. Details, professional details. So this is where you can add your service areas. That is extremely important because that's how RE/MAX is going to know to send you leads for those particular areas. And then you can also put in any other prior affiliations that that you're associated with, any prior brokerages, so that people know that you're the same agent that you were at another company, if that was important to you. Personal details. This is where you have to include your bio. I don't know anyone who likes writing their own bio, but again, you want to give a consumer an idea of who you are if they were considering working with you. So your bio is a really good place to do that. You could just click edit, type it in, paste it in. And then you can also include and share any other activities or hobbies that you're interested in to allow people to kind of get a better glimpse and understanding of who you are. Okay, last but not least, this is probably the most important part. More important than photo, more important than bio, your MLS affiliation. If this section is not completed, your listings are not going to show up online. They are not going to syndicate to Realtor, Trulia, Zillow, everywhere else on the internet. This is where RE/MAX knows you are affiliated with a certain board or MLS so that they can say, okay, this person is affiliated with this board and they have this listing and this is where I need to put it. Okay, so if this isn't filled out correctly, big problems can happen. Now, your MLS ID comes from whatever board you're associated with. They assign you a number. In Charlie's case, it's this 131. You'll have a specific number. The board can tell them what their MLS ID number is. Everybody has a different one. Sometimes it's 3 digits, sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 5. It just depends on that particular board and whenever it was issued to you. If you're unsure, go to the board and ask them, what is my MLS ID number? And they will tell you. Sometimes it's an IDX number, depending on which board it is. Most of the time, you can just tell them, I need my MLS ID number, and they know what that is, and they'll give it to you. You will then come in here and add that into each of these sections. You can search for whatever board that you're affiliated with. So the Beaumont Board of Realtors, for example, you would just type that in and then add in your code where it tells you to add in your code. Save it, it shows up here. You know that you're okay if you have that green button or that green little light right there. It tells you that you're active for each of these different boards. And it's important that you add in your MLS ID number for each of the boards that you're affiliated with. Okay. Do y'all have any questions on that? If an agent comes to you guys, since you're both on staff, and they say, hey, my listings aren't showing up, have them check here first. This is important. And then the second place that they want to look to is in the listing itself. When they've added that into Paragon or Navica, did they check that internet box? If that box isn't checked, then it's not going to know to syndicate it out to the internet sites like Zillow, Trulia, Realtor, so on and so forth. Okay. Now, let's get back to the apps. And I'm going to share with you guys my favorites. All right. So I'm going to look at view all. That way we can see all of the apps and what they do. And I'm going to point out my favorite ones, and I'll give you guys an overview of what the other ones do. Now, as the broker, Charlie probably has more apps than what an agent would have, certainly more than what staff has, but I'll point those out as we go through them. RE/MAX Commercial may or may not show up depending on if the agent has shown that they do commercial work in their profile. Most of the time you have to request it because not everybody is versed in commercial real estate. So that may or may not show up, and that's okay. The Booj green one right here, again, I think is broker specific, so we won't even go there. Now the red one, this is the one that every other agent has access to. And this is the one that we also have access to as well. So Booj is where the agent can manage their CRM, which is their database of contacts. It's where they can respond to leads that come in from remax.com or Remax Luxury, Remax Commercial, Remax Global. This is also the place where they can edit and customize, personalize their websites. So they can take those websites as far as they want to go, which is awesome because you have full creative control. You would just click on website, and then I like to go to the dashboard, but you can go to pages as well to see all of the different pages that are built into your site or create new ones. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail with Booj because literally Booj itself could be its class. In fact, it has been a class, and I can teach on it for 2 weeks straight and still not cover all the features. It's loaded with tons of them, and we have all of those classes recorded in our library in Backagent, so I highly encourage you guys to do that, as well as visit Remax University, also found within MaxCenter. They have a ton of videos that are like 2 and 3 minutes a piece that'll show you very specific things that you can do and create within the Booj platform. Okay, let me get out of Booj and go back to MaxCenter apps. So that's Booj. Very much encourage everybody to get into it. It did have bugs at the beginning when it launched. That's normal with any technology platform. If you were frustrated with it before, give it another shot. They've ironed out a lot of those earlier hiccups, and it's pretty awesome. Now, the Remax URL shortener, we've already talked about. It's the coolest, so I highly encourage you guys to play with that. Recruiting and retention, as staff, you will have access to that tab. It's awesome. It gives you a really good understanding of how Remax stacks up to the competition and other brokerages, both in a traditional sense, but also the virtual ones that are out there. Remax University. I love this one. It's no secret that I like to learn. So this is a really good resource for you guys as staff, but also to encourage your agents to look at as well. This is what taught me. When I first joined the company, I was in this all the time, and I still am. There is a tremendous amount of information in here in the form of little one-page PDF guides that can kind of walk you through things step by step. You can watch countless videos. Look, there's one right there. There's where Charlie is on the video. And he's in several, by the way. If you dig long enough, you can find them. But these are really great, too, to share with new agents because there's these learning tracks. So new to Remax, that's a great series for them to be a part of that introduce them to the brand and how powerful it is. Remax Technology, it's an overview of all that they offer, all that Remax offers people who are affiliated with the company. If you're new to real estate, this Take Flight is excellent. It's a wonderful course that they can take advantage of. And then there's all these little quick links down here about Booj and Design Center and how does First work and all the things. These are all resources that are designed to help teach them when we can't, or if we're not available, or if they just want to do some more learning on their own time at 10 p.m. at night, this is the resource to do it. One cool thing, and the thing that makes it easy, is this search bar right here at the top. They can search for anything that they want, and it's going to pull up all the resources that are designed to teach them in the form of a video. This right here, this is not all of them. If you click on Found, you can see the full list of resources that are associated with whatever term you searched for. Makes that so much easier because that's a new feature. Used to, you had to know exactly where to look. Now you don't. It's all been simplified for all of us. The last thing that I'll share with you guys that is really wonderful with Remax University, especially in a time where so many of us are still at home, you can earn certifications and designations in Remax University because Remax partners with these different CE providers that allow them to offer it through our portals where you can get those designations when you find yourself with more free time. You can do, take a course, you can do watch tracks, webinars, all of those you'll be able to find on the main menu here on the left-hand side if you're curious about any kind of designation or certification. You can also find that right here under CE Shop. That's another place, Continued Education Shop, where you can find books and resources that accompany those different certifications and designations. Any questions on Booj, RE/MAX University, anything like that? Okay, good. RE/MAX News, we already showed you guys that. That's that news.remax.com. You can access it here as well. Again, bookmark it because they're updating it all the time. Really good content. EDR, I'm not even going to touch on. That's if you do a lot of corporate travel, which a lot of our agents do not. But there are services that RE/MAX offers to make sure that you get the best deal through them, especially if you're going to RE/MAX sponsored events like R4 and the like. Now, let's talk about a fun one. Shop RE/MAX, that's the little orange shopping cart here. This is the hub of approved suppliers that RE/MAX LLC has corporate level agreements with to allow us to get discounts on common services. One of which, if you didn't already know, AT&T and Verizon, your cell phone, you can get a discount. It reduced our bill by probably 20 bucks a month, and I'm not even licensed. But because I can prove that I am employed by a RE/MAX franchise, I get a discount. You get a discount. Discounts for everybody. Check into it. Really, really cool. But they've categorized it here as well. So for agents who are like, where do I order signs? How do I get business cards? Where can I buy RE/MAX swag? Point them here. If they know what it is they're looking for, they can find it here, and they can also search for it in this little bar at the bottom. So for example, RE/MAX stickers, RE/MAX folders, RE/MAX pins. They could search for that, and it'll tell them which suppliers offer those products. I kind of love it. I order my business cards through here. I just told you guys I got a discount from on my cell phone. I've ordered a RE/MAX ugly sweater through here before. They've got really fun stuff. So when you find yourself looking for something fun, look no further. Okay, Lead Street, going away. I don't even know why it's still on here. Booj replaced Lead Street. So Lead Street needs to go away. There's never any need to access that tile anymore. Same thing if you guys are seeing RE/MAX commercial Lead Street, gone. They need to just remove those apps. They're what they call, what was it, like sunset or whatever, or they turn the lights off. So those are not functional. Design Center, the little pencil in blue. One thing that's new, RE/MAX now offers what's called automated design center materials for every new listing that an agent puts into the MLS. It's going to send them, RE/MAX is going to send them an email within 24 hours that says, hey, congratulations on your new listing at 123 Easy Street. Here's your suite of marketing materials. And they're going to send you 7 different files, essentially, that you can use to immediately market that property. So things like postcards, like regular standard postcards, jumbo postcards, social media shareable JPEG, separate property website. There's, I think, a video, which they call a virtual tour, which is just like a slideshow of the property photos that are within the MLS. And then there's one other thing that I always forget, but there are 7 in total, and it'll say just listed. And they look beautiful. They're branded. Whatever the description was that you put into the MLS is what's going to show up on, oh, it's a flyer. That's the other thing, a flyer. All of that information is what's going to show up on these materials. It saves you an extraordinary amount of time, and the seller loves it because you can easily forward that to them and say, look what I've done for you. Isn't this great? I'm immediately marketing your property, blah, blah, blah. They love it. And the best part is you didn't spend a second having to create it. You also will get new materials when the listing goes pending. So you'll get all of those same things again, but instead of saying just listed, it'll say pending with a big red banner on the top so that you can send that out. And then when it sells, you can get the same thing. It'll say just sold in an entirely new color so that you have marketing materials that are consistent from start to finish throughout the course of that transaction. You do have the ability to make changes to the automated materials. Those are going to live, you can find them with listings. You can also find them under projects. So down here, and I don't know if it'll show correctly with Charlie's account, but it should have all of his listings. So for the agent, all of their listings will show up here by address. They could go in here, and then that's where they can make changes to those automated materials that were created by Design Center. A common question that I get is, if I make changes on my marketing materials that Remax provides me in Design Center, does it also update in my Paragon? No. Paragon talks to Design Center, but Design Center does not talk to Paragon. So the best practice is that if you want to make changes to, say, the description of your listing, make them in Paragon, and it should update at the Design Center level. Okay? They just don't talk two ways. They only talk from MLS to our software. Does that make sense? Okay. If for some reason an agent comes to you and says, I'm not getting my automated materials, the best thing to do is to have them find the MLS listing ID and then text Remax Support Services, and they'll have to kind of unclog that on their side. But they can do it just like that. Remax Design Center 2 is great because you can create something from scratch if you wanted to, and all of it's going to be kind of template designs, so you don't have to worry about, am I using the right logo? Am I not using the right language? Do I need a registered trademark symbol? All of that's in here. So you just have to know what it is that you're trying to create. You click on it and it'll show you, here's all the templates, and you guys can see them. They look beautiful. They're very clean. You would just click on whatever one you want. You can see a sample, and then you can just go in and create it until your heart's content. Really pretty. And then all of the information here, again, is going to come from your Mac Center profile, so it saves you a lot of extra steps too. Pretty cool. And close out some of these tabs. Okay. Do you have any questions on Design Center? A lot of times agents use other sites like Canva. Canva is very popular for them to create really custom marketing materials, but don't discount Design Center, and because there's a lot, like for example, whenever we have a new agent that we welcome, I create those welcomes in Design Center. I just drag and drop their photo, add their name, and it spits it out for me. It's very simple to use. You just have to kind of play with it until it becomes familiar, like any other thing, Canva included. All right, Commercial Lead Street again, X that one out, not usable. Children's Miracle Network. This is so wonderful and probably one of the most endearing things that Remax does. Remax as a company is affiliated with Children's Miracle Network. We partner with them, and our agents are given the opportunity to donate from each of their transactions toward the Children's Miracle Network. We consistently as a company donate close to $2,000 a month to the Children's Miracle Network. And the very best part is that every dime that our agents donate goes straight into our local hospital, specifically into the neonatal intensive care unit, so the NICU. That's near and dear to my own heart. My daughter was in NICU for about 3.5 weeks. So it's just incredible that we have the ability to donate, and it's awesome because it stays in our own hospital. So at Christus St. Elizabeth NICU, that's where each of these dollars go. And this is just kind of a dashboard of how much money has been raised over the course of the year, as well as individual accounts where you can see what your donations are to the Children's Miracle Network throughout the year. Okay. I don't know that you guys would have this customized joinremax.com. That's the recruiting site. My account, this is the only one that it should prompt you to log in again, but my account is the same as what you find here. So I usually don't go to that one. I just go to update profile. Market intelligence, as staff, you probably have access to this, but I don't know that an agent would. This is just kind of stats on how the agents in Texas are performing year to date and then prior years. The referral exchange, this again, it's kind of like a Facebook, but to find agents in different areas. The quickest way is just to go to find right there. But this is good to check in on every now and then, because people will say, like, I'm looking for someone in Texas, I'm looking for someone here. You could easily get lost in there, but it's good to check on every now and then, because I think you can set like notifications up to where if somebody said, you know, Bridge City, Texas, Orange County, Texas, it would notify you that someone's looking. Marketing. This is good. This is where agents can find little shareables, like things they can post on social media, cover photos, which is so great, to put on your Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. It's all of them. And what's great is you have the ability to come in here at any point during the year and find seasonal cover photos as well. So what's great about that is for the summer, you could put something for the summer with like little Remax branded stuff. You do that right here with choose a category. Really fun. Like seasonal ones, Christmas time is a big one. 4th of July, you could see those too. And anything, any social that you're using, they've got it. So YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus, if you have Google Plus, LinkedIn. This is a great, great resource. Okay, just one little other way to make it known that you're a part of the RE/MAX network. Claims and slogans. You can learn about where these claims come from, like nobody in the world sells more real estate than RE/MAX. You can download those. So if you want to put those in your signature, you can do that. Logos. You never have to worry if you're using the wrong logo, because you can download them straight from this website and know that you have the correct one and the current one, like the balloon and the logo type. I will say this, do not bastardize the logo. They do monitor it very, very heavily. So for example, you wouldn't want to make this yellow. You wouldn't want to make it purple. Keep the colors the way that they are. You don't ever want to put something on top of it or behind it. They do look out for that. So just make sure that if you are using a logo in any capacity, you are getting it straight from the source. Any questions on that? Okay. AdWorks. Shanna Allen just asked a question on this week. Every new listing that our agents get, they get 1 week free of AdWorks advertising. And then after that week is up, they can choose to pay for extended exposure straight from within this platform. Most of the agents do not do this, but it is available. The cool thing is you do get a free week, so they should utilize that because they're not having to pay for it. And it's kind of, it sort of works in the way that Megaphone does. So AdWorks pushes the listing out on like the sidebars of other websites that you're on, like news websites or any other ones that you frequent. They get that for a week free with every new listing that goes into the MLS. We're not going to talk about Motto Mortgage. That's specific to the brokerage side. Tech news. Okay, this is also a dream. This is where so many videos live that RE/MAX sends out every Tuesday. You guys probably get them too. It says RE/MAX Recharge. Those live here. So if you know that you've seen something and you're like, dadgummit, where did that email go? That video lives in here. So you can click here and you'll see all of those little recharge. They're like 2 minutes or less long. You can look at those at any point, and it's great because they have lots of cool ideas that you can do with the technology. So I highly encourage that. Now, your best friend when it comes to RE/MAX Tech is this little life vest. This is the support services. Sometimes you may hear from the agents, hey, how do I contact eCare? Support services used to be eCare. eCare is gone. Now they are known as support services. So you can click on here at any point. What's cool is you can submit a ticket, which is how it used to be done. You would just submit a ticket with your issue or your question. Somebody would get back to you. You can still do that. But now you have the ability to chat in real time with a human, not a bot, with a human by clicking on this little gray box here at the bottom right-hand corner, chat with an expert. Click on that, chat with someone. They'll fix your problem as you're talking to them. Awesome. But if you are not at a computer and you need help, this number right here where it says text or call, this is the bomb. This is also a person, a human, not a bot. You can talk to them. Like just yesterday, Kylie Borden said, hey, for some reason, I'm locked out of my MaxCenter account. I sent her this contact. I keep it stored in my phone. Sent that contact to her, and she was like, yay, they unlocked it. Just like that. They are very quick to respond. I would encourage you guys to put that number in your phone. That way, if an agent comes to you, you can share that with them. But also, it's a wonderful tool for you as well, because if you have any hiccups or if you need help with something, you can text that number too, and they'll be able to help you in real time work through that problem. New features that make life so much easier. RE/MAX collection, I'm not sure if agents see this or not, but these are the luxury listings, and in order to be considered a luxury listing, you have to be, I think, twice what the normal or the average sales price is for that market. So I think for us, it's like in the high 3s, mid 4s. So if you have a listing price in that range, it could be considered a luxury collection listing. So this is where you could find marketing material for that listing in those price ranges. Megaphone, we talked about briefly. This is what it looks like. So if you know that you have a very specific objective that you're hoping to accomplish with internet advertising, this is where you would go. So you can do a custom web ad, a listing ad to promote a listing that you have, or any of the other scheduled ads like open houses, recruiting events, so on and so forth. So you would just follow the prompts. Start building the ad. What would you like to do? Blah, blah, blah. And then you just follow the steps and set the budget. You're good to go. Pretty simple stuff. Although I don't know if any of our people have played with it yet, so I'll be curious to see how that goes. First, we talked about First. That's the thing that looks at your contacts in your phone. RE/MAX is offering 3 months free. I'm not sure how long that promotion is going to run, but you essentially have nothing to lose if you just sign up for the free trial, let it do a really good analysis of the people in your phone. You can download everybody and all of their data that First is going to prepare for you into an Excel file, and then go to town on that database, because it's also going to tell you, here's your people who are most likely to list, go after it. It is worth the free trial to let it do that for you and clean up your contacts, because it'll also affiliate or associate, like, here's their address, here's this, here's that. It's worth its weight in gold. I think if you wanted to continue outside of the free trial, it's like $4.97 a year. But if you close one deal because of it, it more than pays for itself. I don't know why people wouldn't do it. It's worth a shot. 3 months free. Set a notification on your calendar to say, okay, cancel the subscription or whatever. Or you may find that you love it and you can just continue going. You would just go to first.io, just like this in your web browser, and it'll help you sign up. And last but not least, and probably one of the most fun tools, is this RE/MAX Hustle. This is the only one that I think is on its own website. RE/MAX Hustle is fun because you can customize videos for your listings that point out the features that you feel like are their most special. You can customize your very own commercial. Several of our agents did this when this first launched earlier this year. You can choose what you feel like are your top 3 features. You know, maybe you are so responsive and you are a superior negotiator and whatever else you're experienced. You can choose those. It puts together a commercial that you can put out on your social media. It's the coolest, with your picture, with your contact information. You can send your buyers a custom digital welcome mat, which I think is so fun. And it's just something a little different that would appeal, I think, to them. So, you know, there you go. Just type in their name, send it to them, just like that. And you just, again, follow the prompts. Really, really cute. You can save it, send it, or you could post it on your social as well. just something fun that is a little bit different from what anybody else I feel can offer to the agents in the form of like really custom marketing fun materials. Any questions? I know that's a lot, y'all. I don't discount that or diminish that in any way. The cool thing is, and I think the thing that we're lucky is that RE/MAX is constantly improving the technology. It's evolving based on the feedback, based on our needs. So while it can feel overwhelming sometimes, it's also really cool that our company gives a damn in order to provide us with these types of tools. I would much rather have way more tools than not enough. So if y'all have any questions, I did record this so that we can save the file in our library. So y'all can go back to it at any point. The agents will be able to access it anytime. And this is also the video that I'm going to put into the welcome email campaign that they get from us for the first 2 weeks that introduces them to all of these same tools.
Thank you. This was a refresher for me.
Yes.
I've taken it before and I thought, you know what? You always learn something new. So anyway, so I'm going to play with it again. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Alicia, any questions that you have off the top of your head?
No, ma'am. I've just got to get with Maureen and figure out why I'm still not showing up.
Yeah. I would
like
also
my profile and
to,
everything is set up. I'm just not showing up, as an agent on the site.
I would encourage you maybe to text that number and ask them. Because they may be able to provide you with some insight that you could bring to Maureen. And then, between the two of them, maybe they could get that worked out.
Right. And I know it's probably something simple because Becca's is there and JD's is there, and they've been in the same, time span. I don't know.
Right. I'm sure it's a simple fix.
Thank you for everything, though.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. Y'all have a good afternoon.
You
Bye,
too.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.